Okay, right here we're looking at the Civic suspension. As you can see right here, this is not being properly installed or assembled. First, before we install this suspension, this is what we need to do. Right here, spin this all the way down. Spin it all the way down. Keep going, keep going. Keep spinning it. So as you can see, when you spin it down, you see this part, it moves. This is not supposed to move here. Okay, this and this part, it has to be on top of it, right on top of this part. Now we're gonna get into the suspension of the inside of the suspension. Okay, you loosen the bolt, take this out, the washer, take this out, take this out. Be very careful. Okay, as you can see on the suspension here, this part, this has to be tight. If it's loose, then the bearing goes out after a while. So this part has to be tight, but instead of using this, what you can do is use a C-ring this size, and a C-ring will go right in this part right here. The C-ring will work a lot better. The Tiens and all the popular suspension use a C-ring instead of this piece right here. But for now, if we use this piece, this is what you have to do. You're gonna make sure this part is tight when it goes on. Very, very tight. Okay, but you're gonna have to use a special tool to make sure this is tight, and you can't move it, or else the suspension will only last you a good 60 days. So now we get back to assembling the suspension. First, you put this back on. Make sure the big washer is here. Okay. Then you put this part back on. Make sure that this part right here, this is sitting right on top of that, so this doesn't move. Okay. And then now you put this back on. And then you put the washer, but the washer is an incorrect size. You have to make sure you have the correct size washer. And then finally you put this back on. So basically the design of this suspension is not correct, but it's still usable. And make sure you tighten this, but while you're tightening this, make sure you hold on tight to the shaft, because if while you're tightening this and the shaft moves, then you basically mess up the suspension. So make sure you clamp this and tighten the shaft, and afterwards then you can spin this back up to the desirable height. Let's see. And it's complete.